We were joking with Davi last week that she had to change her act a little bit when she was on stage over the weekend doing her stand-up comedy, that she was going to have to change it because her in-laws were going to be in the crowd. So we joked about that for a while. And she came in, walked in this morning saying that it was the worst experience of her comedy career happened over the weekend.
Facts.
Facts. What happened?
Oh, man, there's so much to say. First off, I would like to say City Winery is the best. The best venue, the best listening room. They're the best always. Best food, great drinks. Love it. Oh, the staff is incredible. When things are going down, they will lift you up. They're amazing. They always put up with so much crap, but they always have really good artists in there. So let's give a big hand to City Winery.
Yes.
I agree.
Oh, I didn't realize that's where it was.
Yes.
I was there Friday night.
Wonderful.
There was a lot of drunk women.
They put up with a lot.
Yes, they do.
And their bartenders put up with a lot.
Yes, they do.
And, it's a winery,
Yeah.
so the ladies
Right?
get lit. And it's a good time. It's always a good time at City Winery.
It was like there was a full moon or something Friday night.
Yeah?
Like, I don't know. And I mean, there wasn't, but it was just like the vibe of the room. Ladies got turned.
Really?
Are you sure it's not just because you were sober?
Right.
That's what it was.
Yeah, that's it probably. He's right. 'Cause
You know what? You have a
Kristen's
very
going 30
valid
days
point.
without drinking.
Right.
Oh man, I mean, and it was nice because I'm now calling myself Coober, the Kristen Uber, because I just picked up my friend Amy and went. So you're not only saving money on like the booze and the wine, but you're also saving money on the car services,
Right.
and Lyft and
Right.
Uber and stuff like that. But man, yeah, because you're partnered, you're sitting at tables with randoms because it's like the way it's set up, and yeah. People are just pounding bottles. I mean, pounding them. I'm just sitting there eating my burrata and sipping on my water.
Just so you know that in past ones, people have said the same thing about you.
I guarantee
This
you.
random with the blonde hair is just killing that wine. All right? Okay, so what happened then?
Yes, again, thank you, City Winery and Wayne and Alex. One last glowing endorsement for City Winery. Yay. I need some thoughts and prayers at this time because I think I ruined my chances of getting into heaven because I think I accidentally opened for Satan this weekend.
Whoa.
She's the worst.
She was that bad?
She is the worst.
What?
She is the worst person in the world.
What's her
And I
name?
don't want to be in cahoots with kids. It would be indiscreet for me to say her name, right? Heather
No, 'cause
McDonald. Heather McDonald.
Yeah, we
Heather McDonald.
interviewed her because we
Yeah.
were so you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
just
I
so-
totally forgot about that part.
Some backstory here, right? So Davi came in here some time ago, so excited because you were a Heather McDonald fan.
I'm not.
Now,
I have friends that are.
okay,
And so when I was approached, I was like, I don't know who this is, but I looked her up and was like, okay, I think this is awesome. And like, I did make a goal. Like last year, I was like, I'm not opening for dudes anymore. I'm only on the bill as the one girl face that's real small, and then it's all these dudes, and I'm not doing it anymore. I'm gonna headline my own shows. I'm gonna start like putting my own shows together. But when this came through, I was like, it's a girl. I could open for a girl. They want two girls on the bill. That's awesome. So I got excited.
And she's kind of a big deal in the comedy world.
right. So much so that honestly, when Davi came in here, you were so excited about it. We don't normally interview comics.
No, you never do. But
But I thought, okay, Davi's excited. This woman must be great. Plus, it'll give us an opportunity to plug your
Yeah.
show. I really didn't care about Heather McDonald, but it was your show.
I don't keep up with the reality show stuff. I don't watch, I'm like, what's worse than a reality show star? Someone who thinks they're a star because they talk about reality shows all the time. So I didn't know what her deal was. I just knew material from Chelsea Lately, some of her comedy. And I was like, she's funny. I like her. I'm excited to meet her. And then you were kind enough to give her an interview. But 31 days ago, I get the email to open Friday and Saturday for the gig. 29 days ago, we confirm a table for my family for my father-in-law's birthday. And I said, how long of a set? Any censorship needed? They said, no censorship. Be yourself. 30 minutes. 17 days ago, they sent some of my videos to her people. 8 days ago, her people asked my set to be cut from 30 minutes down to 15 to 20. I said, my pleasure, whatever you guys need from me. 3 days before the gig, we interview her on our show. And you said, Davi's opening for you this weekend. And she's like, yeah, right?
I believe so.
That happened.
There was no no.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
I don't remember her going, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, because that would be like, oh, you're unaware. You're unaware of this.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
she were to say, what?
Right.
But no, she was like, yeah, that's happening. Okay. So we interview her on our radio station, which we never do for comedians. I get to the venue like an hour and a half early, almost an hour, 45 minutes early, so the fam can eat. I wanted to go put my stuff in the green room. They said, you have a separate green room. And I was like, cool. So I'm separate from the headliner. That's fine. I get it. She's got to get in her zone. We don't know each other. So I stayed separate for that hour 45. I'm supposed to go on at 8. At 7:47, they're like, she wants to speak with you. I'm like, cool, I'm finally going to meet her because I wasn't allowed to go back there. Now, I know her whole thing is Barbie doll reenactments.
What's her deal?
Barbie doll reenactments. She has Barbie dolls dressed and they look like Real Housewives of all the
Okay.
different franchises, and she does impersonations of each of them.
Yes.
Okay.
So
right.
I didn't have any Barbie dolls at home because I haven't played with those since I was 8. So I brought this skeleton,
You're so right.
which is who she will be. And then I'm this tiny Buddha. I'm this tiny Buddha because I'm trying to keep it together.
So we have a tiny Buddha there, and we have a figure out of
it's Jack Skellington from The Night Before Christmas.
right. Okay, got it. No Barbies. Got
Old skeleton.
Okay.
Okay.
I love that she had that readily at home.
This is the only doll I have.
I'm guessing you're Buddha.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm Buddha because I'm trying to be calm.
All right.
Because it's my understanding you keep the headliner happy, right? Right?
In most
Sure.
cases, yeah. Right.
In most cases.
We've had experiences on the show before
Exactly.
where
So
it worked out.
I've noticed that Mo was very disrespected in the past. So I'm like, no, you're just supposed to keep the headliner happy. All right. Unless you interviewed them on the radio and you did a bunch of bits on the radio where you weren't going to censor your set because you wanted to make your in-laws uncomfortable, right? Because I was
Right.
going in there not changing my set. Every comedian I know was saying, don't change your set.
100%.
Don't do that. Go for it. Why would you do that at the last minute? You want your A material for this awesome opportunity.
And just so I have it right, I got all the facts right. City Winery said you don't have to change your act.
Exactly.
Got it.
Because I asked them like 30 days before. That's a month. In case anybody's wondering. I know her people might be listening. So I walk back there.
There goes Buddha.
Hey, girl, hey. So excited. Such an honor. This is going to be a great night. And she says, cool. So you're doing 10 clean minutes. Oh, they had told me 15 or so. I'll cut it down some more. And clean, not dirty. No cussing. You can't cuss. No sex. I don't want you out there talking about this or that, talking about sexual things. And no politics. Nothing anti-Trump. And I start to say, yes, ma'am. And I'm like, okay, I never do politics. I don't go there. That's not my thing. But, and tomorrow I can prepare a cleaner set for you. But tonight, there's going to be some sex stuff. This is where she loses it.
She's losing it.
Yes. So she's like, look, I don't know why the F you're here. I don't even know who the F you are. They just put your name next to mine one day. And I'm like, what the F is going on? And she's flipping through her phone, I guess to find receipts where she had asked that I be censored or something, but could not produce them because it was never asked. She just said it out loud one day and no one told anyone. So anyways, she's looking for the email, flipping through. I told them I didn't even want you here unless you could be clean because being dirty is my thing, okay? It's my thing. So then I'm not a Buddha anymore because I stopped giving a F. So I was like, well, being dirty is also my thing. It's also Joan Rivers' thing and Lisa Lampanelli's thing, Amy Schumer. I could go on.
These are the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Yeah.
You're standing up for yourself.
Yeah,
I'm
so
happy for you.
It ticked me off because no one, like in 5 seconds of meeting someone, no one's ever spoken to me like that before.
It literally was 5 seconds.
Yes, it was maybe 30. I
Okay.
don't know how long
Wow.
I was going, hey, it's such an honor. I'm so excited. Blah, blah, blah.
And she's like,
she
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Insta-B. It's nuts. So she's like, it's my thing. It's my thing. And I'm like, it's my thing too. It's a lot of people's thing. It's a female comedian thing. We can all be gross.
The Buddha, man.
Oh my God. So she's like, look, I told them. So you just need to go write some local crap real quick or something. And I said, I think that maybe because we have so much in common, they thought we would make a good pair tonight. And that's why they put us together. And I think it's going to be a great show. She's waving me away with her hand like,
Like, get out of here.
get out of here. Duh, duh, duh. Don't cuss and be clean. And
Now, you're supposed to go on in how long now?
it's about 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
Yeah.
And you're supposed
she
to
wants me to
rewrite
go write
local.
some local material for her, which I'm just not going to do. I said, I can prepare that for you tomorrow now that I have some notice, but that's not happening tonight. And by this time, the manager's in there because there's some yelling. It wasn't me. It was all her. And he's trying to diffuse the situation. And I'm like, here is my phone receipt. Here's my email that says no censorship. We good, right?
Okay, hang for me for a second because
I
I don't
am
want to.
like,
I don't want to rush through the story. I don't want to rush through it. And I got to go to commercials, but I don't want you to rush through this. I got to
Okay.
know how this ends.
Yeah. I
just,
because now you're supposed to go on stage, even if everything's worked out, right?
Yep.
You're supposed to go on stage in 8 minutes and calm yourself down and do your set,
And-
even if it's worked out.
And her husband and in-laws are in the crowd.
Yeah.
I'm mad.
Oh, I'm mad for you too.
I'm mad. All right.
It's the worst.
So, so what happens between then and Davi going on stage, or does she even go on stage? We'll find out next.
And to continue our conversation, which I'm reenacting with an old skeleton and a Buddha. I'm the tiny Buddha, and she's the old skeleton. So she was waving me away, like just ignoring me, and like when you're dealing with a gnat, and you're like, get out of my face.
Go
So
write
she's-
your local material.
she's
You've got 8 minutes now to write local
waving
stuff.
me
Now
away.
get out of here.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I should leave. And then I'm like, listen, there's a really great crowd out there. My family's seeing me for the first time ever. And there's some people out there that want to hear me make my family uncomfortable. It's kind of a whole thing that I talked to. And she interrupts me.
Can I sidebar here for just 1
Yeah.
second for those that don't know? Part of our storylines last week was Davi having to perform on stage in front of her in-laws for the very first time. And there's a lot of material in there about Davi being intimate with her husband,
Yes.
their child. Okay,
Their child. He is not a child.
their child.
Oh, no. He is. Oh, my God.
My son will always be my child.
He's in his 30s.
It's a
He's
grown
their
man.
child.
Don't say that. I don't know. That's not
We
a
don't
thing.
condone that verbiage.
It's a very grown
Can
man.
you say their only son?
Their only son.
He's not a child. Thank you. Good Lord. So I'm like, there's a great crowd. And I like for tonight, I'm going to do my set to make my fans, my family uncomfortable. Tomorrow I will be prepared. I told them I didn't want you. And I said, I guess she's cute. I guess she's funny. But what the F? This is total BS. So I was like, well, did we sell it out? And she said, what the F is that your business? And I'm like, well, that's a no. So I'm like, it's just a question, Heather. And she's like, I have sold out plenty of venues on my own without your help before tonight. And I was like, okay, this isn't about me. It started to make sense. This isn't about me. Maybe it is a little bit, but she's going through some crap. So I'm like, I'm going to go because I feel like I'm making this worse. And then she's like, you can't, guys, you got to be clean. The manager's trying to calm her down and escort me out. So we're walking out, and he's giving me eyes. He's giving me eyes. And I'm like, oh, this has been going on all day. So like,
Oh, really?
yeah. So
Okay.
I ended up talking to a few other people that work there, and they were just like, oh, it's been insane. They haven't communicated anything, but now they're flipping out like at the last minute.
So they've been dealing with this all day long. She hasn't gotten, I'm assuming she hasn't gotten the answers she wants. So she's just going to go right to the source, which is you, and pulls you into the green room.
It was about a lot of
I'm
different
guessing.
stuff.
Okay.
It was about the venue. It was about these videos that she wanted to play, but then didn't give it to them until like an hour before, and their system couldn't like read whatever she was sending. You know, she was sending a weird file. So there was all this drama, and then I go in there 8 minutes before my set and get yelled at by a stranger.
Got it.
Swear she might be the devil. I'm serious.
Is she really yelling?
She's like really irritated. It turned into yelling. Like it wasn't yelling right away. It was just rude and cold. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I don't know how to deal with a woman like this. And then I started to think like maybe she can smell her own. She knows that I don't care or watch any of the reality shows. I don't know. So I was like, maybe she just it's something about me. And I couldn't understand the whole. I guess she's cute. I guess she looks funny.
She's literally saying that out loud while you're in front of her.
While she's like scrolling through emails to try to find her emails where she told them to tell me to be clean and only do 10 minutes, which never happened.
And she couldn't come up with any email.
But I had my receipt that said censorship needed, and they said nope.
Okay.
So I had my receipts. I was covered on my end, and so was the venue because they had their receipts, no emails from them. So then I have to go on stage and do my thing. But first, I'm like trying to remedy the situation. I run out to my car because I have all these note cards of old sets, and I'm like, where's the cleanest one? And then I'm like, this is garbage material. It's not my best.
All right. So can I interject? Not a criticism, just an observation.
Yeah.
When things get tense in studio, I feel like with you, it rattles you a little bit. It takes you, like it does any of us, an hour or two to get back into the game. So were you supposed to because this is a rattling conversation you had.
bet it
So
was.
now 8 minutes later, you're just supposed to compose yourself and go back on stage?
Yep.
Shoo.
So I was like, "Can I have the keys?" And my husband's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Just need the keys." And I'm like, and he knows just by looking at my eyes, and I'm trying to cover up something. So then I run out to try to find these set lists. I'm running all around. I'm trying to write stuff in the heat of the moment. I'm freaking out. Everyone is like, "No." They're like, "Just go do it." Like, she thinks you're going to be clean. Go do your thing.
Mo,
This
you're
is
shaking your head
garbage.
yes.
What?
Yes.
I would have cursed my behind off.
Yeah.
I would have
Yeah.
went the complete other direction.
Because
Yeah.
Mo is a stand-up comedian as well.
So like within 8 minutes, I went through so many emotions, and then 5 minutes of running, and then like 2 minutes, and they're like, "Okay, right after the voice of God, you go out," which is the thing that's like, enjoy the show. And I was like, "Wait, there's no host." So like usually there's a host that announces the opener, but there was no host. So I was like, "Oh God."
I was there. I was sitting front row. Like, she came out cold. Like,
Yeah.
Davi had to come out cold.
So I just ran out after the voice, and I introduced myself.
Now,
and then
do you, Kristen, know any of this that's going on?
No.
Nothing. No idea at all.
No,
Okay.
absolutely not. Because I'm there with my friend Amy, and we're sitting there. And because she got the VIP package, we are like up in Davi's stuff. Like, we are front row. Like, we are right there at the front of the stage.
I was looking at my little paper, and I was like, "I'll do this much, and that'll be about 10 or 12 minutes." And my husband was like, "Do 20." You know, he was like,
Yeah.
"Go for it." And I was like, I can't. I don't want to upset the venue. They
Yeah.
mean the most to me right now, not that garbage person. So I was just trying to keep it together. I kind of blacked out. I don't know what happened. I do know that a lot of my jokes have a build where there's tiny, tiny, tiny joke and then the punchline. And I was like too scared to give the punchline because of her. So I did like half my set, and then I did half of my jokes in my set. It felt awful. I felt awkward. Like, I walked out there and was like, "Yay, Heather McDonald. I can't wait for me to F off and get out of here." And I was just like so rattled.
Sure.
And I feel like it was the worst set I've ever done. I don't even know if people laughed, which my in-laws were like, "No, people love that credit card joke." And this and that. And they loved it. They had a good time, but they knew that stuff was going on behind the scenes and under the surface. And it was like, so then Blair's like relaying the message, and it was like the worst 10 minutes. I don't even think I did the full 10.
Do you think anybody there that hasn't seen you before? I mean, you've seen her before. Did you notice that, man, something's a little something here?
You handled it like a pro, Davi.
Are you
That's
serious?
incredible.
Yeah.
Well, you've only seen, maybe you didn't know the jokes as well. to know that they could be so much better. I did not handle it like a pro. I was like,
Well, no, in your head, because you know the jokes, okay? So, but as somebody who was sitting in the audience watching you, I mean, I know you felt it wasn't your best, but now hearing everything that went on behind the scenes, and like, seriously, you did an awesome job.
thank you.
You really honestly did. I was
was-
laughing. I was stage mom, and I was taking pictures and trying to pay attention at the same time.
Were you like mouthing the jokes? Like sometimes I'll see stage moms on the side of the on the
please
side of the
don't.
stage that are mouthing the words to a song that their 6-year-old is trying to sing on stage.
See, so on top of that, no idea that she was acting like Heather was acting like this behind the scenes. But all I knew is because I had went up and I've met Blair's parents, her in-laws before, so I went and gave them hugs, before the show, wished them a happy birthday. So the joke she's doing, she cussed. She did her dirty jokes.
I did.
She talked about her husband's dingling. And the whole time, I'm like, her mother-in-law. You did the one about your mother-in-law in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I mean, and you used profanity in that one too.
So I went for it.
Yeah,
I know I
did.
ticked her off, but the whole time I was up there, I was like, I have to come back and do this tomorrow with this broad. So there was a day 2, but like my throat muscles were so tight the whole time. I think I have a 6-pack on my throat now because I was trying not to cry for like 48 hours.
I've got so many thoughts on this, but on day 2, did she come back up
Yeah.
and say, now you need to change it? Or did you change it? Or there's no interaction between the two of you guys?
I showed up when I wanted to show up.
Yep.
And she didn't have a chance to talk to me beforehand because
Okay.
I wouldn't allow it.
Yep.
And I went up on stage and did my thing, and I took a good 15, maybe 16 or 17 minutes.
Okay.
Took my time, and I made fun of her stupid Barbie dolls.
Yeah.
And I said her Barbie dolls reminded me of my great-great-aunt's guest bedroom because what is it about ladies of a certain age that collect too many dolls? I went off, and I gave her a lovely introduction, and I walked off stage, and I crushed it on day 2.
Good for
and
you.
it was awesome.
Good for you.
But she made me feel uncomfortable in my realm. Like in radio, I have to censor myself, Stand up is like my realm to be whoever I want. And she made me uncomfortable in my realm, and I don't appreciate that.
So if you're watching Heather McDonald and you're a fan of Heather McDonald, just know behind the scenes she made Davi's life miserable.
Also, she's telling everybody she sold out the show. She did not. There was a lot of empty tables. It's pathetic to lie about selling out your show when everyone can see empty tables.
That's us taking the high road.
Yeah.
The Bert Show.